So you want to build a cold plunge? In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to build a cold plunge for less than $500. Let's go. I watched all the other videos on YouTube because I wanted to build a cold plunge. What I found is that not only did people misrepresent how much it actually costs to build a cold plunge, but they didn't actually show me how to do it. They gave me instructions, okay, I gotta go buy this, and then they showed me theirs. And I'm like, I want to actually see the process of how this gets done. And that's what I'm going to create for you. I'm going to show you exactly what items I buy, why I buy them, and I'm also going to show you exactly how I set it up in real time. The first time this was introduced to me was through a man named 𝙞𝙩𝙨, who's a good friend of mine. Shout out to Anthony. Go check him out, Biohacking Secrets. He invited me to this weekend-long biohacking retreat where we got to do a bunch of fun experiments on ourselves, including getting in the cold water. We submerged ourselves in Lake Michigan in Chicago during November for about 5 minutes. We all linked arms, we walked into the water and we dunked our heads and we stayed under for a long time. And I remember leaving that experience being so invigorated, so full of energy and life at a time in my journey where I was really struggling with that. And Anthony told me about this guy named Wim Hof, who I actually ended up meeting in Jamaica. And Wim talks about this breathing technique and getting into the cold water to start to take control of your mindset, your emotions, and your body. Now, it almost seems like this new fad or trend is sort of taking the internet by storm. It seems to have caught recent traction because of the perceived health benefits and the emotional side effects of getting into the cold water. There's been a lot of scientific research about cold thermogenesis and the effects of it. Lots of people in the videos that I've watched and from the interviews that I've seen have referenced, the formation of brown adipose tissue and increased metabolism, enlightened mood, and many other positive side effects to getting in the cold. I'll link up some of the research and some of the other studies and interviews below, but for me, I can only speak from my own experience, which is I felt amazing. I felt so good, and I wanted to start incorporating this into my morning routine. I knew that this would be such a powerful way to start your day. Okay, let's start with the first thing that you're going to need to buy, which is a white Insignia 14.1 cubic foot chest freezer. The reason why we're getting the 14.1 cubic foot chest freezer is so that you can fit in it. This is the very cheapest model that I could find for this size, and it was $349.99 plus tax and shipping to send right to the house. In total, $377.12. The next thing I got is a MyTouchSmart digital indoor-outdoor timer. I bought this one because I want it to be really seamless in the way that it turns on the freezer at nighttime. I want it to be weatherproof. I wanted it to be really reliable. And based on the research that I did, this seemed like a good option. Again, links are in the description. The next thing that you're gonna have to buy is a tube of silicone RTV 4500 FDA grade high strength silicone sealant. I chose this one because it seemed like chemically the safest and is also water resistant. You're also going to want to buy some type of outdoor mat or bath mat to wipe off your feet before you get into the cold plunge each time to keep from debris getting into your water. So we're going to seal the inside of our freezer and we're going to let this cool for 24 hours. Boom. So it's day 2. We had a little bit of a breakdown yesterday trying to get this sealant in the freezer. I was trying to open the sealant and like push it out the nozzle, and it was like clogged or something. I pushed down so hard that it like blew up in the back. I did my best to seal the edges or the corners. I did my best to seal it, okay? But there's probably not enough. So what I'm gonna do right now is I went and bought another tube of sealant. I'm gonna just layer on a nice coat. Then it's gonna take another additional 24 hours. That's what I'm gonna do right now. And it's a day later, and it looks like we've got some ice. Woo-wee. That is cold. Quick little note, right now this is frozen a little bit too much, like there's actually a solid layer of ice right there. I had it cool through like 24-hour cycle. Normally, you're gonna set this timer up. You're gonna click this my time right there, my time on, my time off, and you're gonna set it for a couple hours to run during the night so that this doesn't completely freeze over, but you might have to play with the time to figure out how long it actually needs to cool in order for it to be the right temperature for you. That's it. Now, time to get in. Woo! Woo! So that is how you build a cold plunge. And a couple notes before you go is, number one, never dunk your head when you're by yourself. There's such a thing called cold water blackouts. Number two is I wouldn't recommend staying in for longer than 4 to 5 minutes. That seems to be a good enough time to really feel and notice the benefits of the cold exposure. Number three, never get in the cold plunge while it's plugged in. I don't know if it could, but just want to protect ourselves against the possibility of getting electrocuted. Number four is figure out a good way to clean your cold plunge. Every 1 to 2 weeks, you should empty out the water and give it a nice spray, and consider buying one of those pool things that you can scoop out debris that may get into your cold plunge. Last but not least, at the bottom of this model of freezer, there's a little hole where there's a plug. The plug does not work as well as I would like. A little bit of water comes out, and so I would recommend buying some Flex Seal or some type of putty that you can take on and off that can go on that hole and cover up so that no water is leaking out over time. And in conclusion, on this channel, I just wanted to share with you that the reason why I went through all the trouble to make this thing and show you how to do the same is I want you to feel better, and the cold has made me feel amazing. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and comment below any questions that you might have about building your cold plunge. And all the links in the description are affiliate links, and if you choose to buy through those, it really does help support the channel. If you haven't already, consider subscribing down below wherever it is, and I will see you in the next video. Be well.